Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for another edition of your weekly Smackdown Live reviews, and it is your official Smackdown Live review for the date of January 16th, 2018. Here tonight on Smackdown Live, the direct focus was to the United States Championship Tournament. The tournament was supposed to conclude at the Royal Rumble, but for some reason, WWE decided to speed things up, and the tournament, by the end of the show tonight, we had a new United States Champion. The tournament had come to a close. So that was the big thing going on SmackDown Live here tonight. And quite honestly, I can tell you that it felt refreshing because SmackDown Live over the past few weeks has been rinse and repeat. It's been Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, or some combination or whatever Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are doing in the main event. And then you've got Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan all throughout the show, continued build between them. That's what SmackDown Live for seemingly like the past 3 weeks has been. Here tonight, it was a little bit different than that. You took a little bit of a pause on the Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan storyline, and something that quite frankly needed a pause because it's been continued build and tension over these past couple weeks, and it hasn't even been that great of a build and tension. It's realistically been slow burn, and I'm not gonna give flack to WWE for building out a long drawn out storyline, because that's how it should be. You should have long-term plans in place. But when that long-term plan, when planting seeds is the main focus of your show, I hate to tell you, but you're not going to have the most exciting show. Top that off with some illogical booking decisions that make you scratch your head, and just absolutely boring editions of SmackDown Live, and you don't got yourself the most exciting shows. Here tonight, it wasn't the greatest show of all time. I wouldn't even go ahead and tell you that it was a good show here tonight. But what I can tell you is that it felt different. It felt refreshing than what we've been seeing for the past few weeks. And that's quite frankly something that SmackDown Live needed, because in its current state, SmackDown Live is absolutely stale. So the direction tonight was for the United States Championship. And if you did not watch the show, spoilers, it's probably going to be spoiled in the title anyways, because we need views and clicks. But Bobby Roode is your new United States Champion. After here tonight, we're going to discuss that here tonight on your SmackDown Live review. And on top of that, it was the debut of the WWE Mixed Match Challenge Tournament. Yes, I did take 20 minutes of my time after SmackDown Live went off the air, and I did sit down and watch the WWE Mixed Match Challenge. Here tonight, it was Shinsuke Nakamura and Natalya representing SmackDown Live against Sasha Banks and Finn Balor representing Monday Night Raw. So that was the first week, and we're going to be talking about what I thought of the Mixed Match Challenge as well. Besides everything going on with the United States Championship Tournament here tonight, there really wasn't much else on SmackDown Live. You had the same generic garbage with the women's division, and the small little seeds built between Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, and the Usos going towards their tag team championship matchup at the Royal Rumble. You had a video package here tonight for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and what they're doing with AJ Styles, which is good. You don't need to have these guys on SmackDown Live in the forefront each and every single week. AJ Styles was only in a backstage segment here tonight. If you ask me, you didn't have to go that far. You could have completely erased that backstage segment, and you would have been good. Another refreshing thing SmackDown Live did here tonight was that they had superstars film little backstage video packages saying what they're going to do in the Royal Rumble and what the Royal Rumble means to them. And I like that. That's something WWE should be doing. It seems like they're forgetting the Royal Rumble. It's in the midst of everything they have. Like, look at Monday Night Raw last night. The focus was on Braun Strowman. It was not on the Royal Rumble. For the first hour and a half, for the first half of that show, for the first half of that 3-hour show, the entire focus was on Braun Strowman. None of it was on the Royal Rumble. SmackDown Live doesn't seem to be doing the same thing Raw is doing. Here tonight, you had Randy Orton, you had Shinsuke Nakamura, you had the majority of the women cutting promos that they filmed themselves backstage, and it was pretty nicely done. So I will give credit to SmackDown Live for that. So those are the things I picked up. Those are the talking points for SmackDown Live here tonight. We're going to discuss all that in the review and, of course, go over the entirety of the show. But before we do go into that, like always, I just want to tell you guys to make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and that is because there is so much other content to go check out, especially this upcoming Royal Rumble week. That's what I call it, a Royal Rumble week, because there's a whole lot of content. You got Monday Night Raw, that review. You got SmackDown Live, that review. Then going into Thursday, you got your Royal Rumble preview and predictions. Then going into Friday, you got your NXT TakeOver Philadelphia preview and predictions. Then going into Saturday, not only do you have Behind the Mic going up in the morning to the afternoon area, but in the nighttime after NXT TakeOver Philadelphia goes off the air, right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, you got your NXT TakeOver Orlando review, and then of course the main event for that huge week of content, you of course have the Royal Rumble 2017 or 2018 at this point. Goddamn, don't even know what year I am in. That's how bad things are at this point, but that's besides the point. Because, of course, we got a huge week of content coming next week. It's one of those main event weeks, is what I like to call it, right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And, of course, there is no better time for you to subscribe. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, because you get everything regarding the WWE. And if that list isn't enough to make you subscribe, of course, Raw and SmackDown reviews each and every single week. Pay-per-view reviews. We reviewed every single pay-per-view in 2017, including the NXT TakeOver shows. Not one was missed. So you got that. You got Behind the Mic each and every single weekend, where we talk about all the biggest news in the WWE. Breaking news videos come out from time to time. When things like that break, we cover programs like the Mae Young Classic. And of course, I'm going to be talking to you about the WWE Mixed Match Challenge in this very SmackDown Live review. So we talk about it all right here on Ringside Wrestling. So if there's no other reason for you to subscribe, that is certainly a valid one. So make sure to subscribe, and not only to subscribe, but to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here, and of course to comment what you thought about SmackDown Live here tonight, because your opinion is just as important as mine. So make sure to leave your opinion on what you saw on SmackDown Live here tonight, because for now, we're going straight into that SmackDown Live review. Let's do it. And of course, I want to start off here with the Mixed Match Challenge and what I thought of that. The presentation was pretty much the SmackDown Live stage, and you had, of course, the Mixed Match Challenge logo. Ropes were still blue. You had Renee Young and Byron Saxton as the entrants were coming in. They were talking about the Mixed Match Challenge. Various times they would cut and show you the teams coming onward, the creative Facebook videos that the WWE Superstars made. So there's that. And then on commentary, it was Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and this was a little bit of a surprise, Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix was in a commentary role here tonight. As far as how she did not do very well. There were multiple times where Michael Cole would say, "Beth," and she'd just remain silent, and there'd be that little lull in the commentary. It was a little bit awkward, But of course, for somebody who doesn't do commentary on a week-to-week, why would you expect her to do a better job than she did? She did fine for what she was positioned to do. I'm interested to see if they're going to have a new women's commentator each and every single week. Maybe one week they'll bring in Lita. Maybe the next they'll bring in Trish Stratus. Maybe the next week they'll bring in whoever the hell it is they want to pull out of their pockets to do commentary for the women. Or maybe they'll just keep Beth Phoenix there the entire time. I honestly don't mind it. For 20 minutes of my time, I'm not going to sit here complaining about Beth Phoenix not doing her job on commentary. It really does not matter to me at that point. But the match itself between Nakamura, Natalya, Balor, and Sasha, it was nice. It was a decent matchup, to say the least. I mean, you're really not going to come into this tournament expecting wrestling clinics. You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And if you do, you're already doing something wrong in that attempt. But as far as how this match went, I like the dynamic that they played between Natalya and Nakamura. I don't know why I said Natalya. Natalya and Nakamura. Natalya clearly being a heel presence would tag herself in. Nakamura would find the issue with that. There was a nice point in the matchup where Sasha was diving into the outside of Natalya, and Nakamura caught Sasha, and he was just holding her up for a minute. That was pretty funny to me, and I found that part of the matchup enjoyable. Clearly, Balor and Nakamura being in the same ring together, whenever they were in the same ring, you saw some nice in-ring action. Natalya and Sasha Banks clearly did not do bad for themselves. Probably the two best women's performers on both Raw and SmackDown Live in Natalya and Sasha Banks. So it was a good matchup. It was a good matchup. In the end, everything boiled down to Nakamura and Balor. Nakamura was about to put away Balor with the Kinshasa. Balor hit the Sling Blade. He was about to hit the coup de grace on Nakamura. Natalya came in. Natalya, she hit the ropes. That cost Balor the win. I believe Nakamura hit a nice knee to follow up. Sasha came in. She broke up the pin. That cost Nakamura the win on Balor. So Sasha took care of Natalya, and she got a hot tag from Finn Balor. So things broke down. Clearly, you don't want to pin Nakamura. You don't want to pin Balor either with what they're doing in their current storylines. So one of the women had to take the pin, and who better than Natalya, who's really not doing anything on SmackDown Live right now. So Sasha Banks got the hot tag, did her series of moves, I believe hit the bank statement, and you had Natalya topping out right there. So that was the matchup. Really nothing too crazy so far as the Facebook format goes. There were like 130,000 viewers at the high point. If I had to do like a little bit of a mean as to what the average viewership was, it was like 125,000 people. So really not too amazing numbers. You had some WWE cocksuckers in that chat though, that's what I know. They were like, the WWE is so amazing, bringing 125,000 people together to watch wrestling on the Facebook format. Like, are you kidding me? Who are you? Who is this person? My lord. But that is besides the point, of course. This was alright. I'm really not expecting too much from this, but it's for a good cause. It's for charity, and some people are going to get their kick out of this. So I'm fine with it as long as WWE books it correctly, and they seem to be doing that. I mean, if they would have pinned Nakamura in this matchup, and Balor and Sasha would have won in some dominating fashion or whatever, I would have had a problem with it. Clearly, they did not do that. They had Natalya be pinned, so I don't care. I really don't care. Balor and Sasha continue, and I believe they will go on to face the winner of Becky and Sammy and whoever the hell else is. They haven't even shown a bracket for this tournament. That's a visual I want to see. And speaking of visuals, they had nice nameplates, different type of nameplates. There were nice visuals for it. There were. But besides that, really nothing too crazy about the Mixed Match Challenge in Week 1. Good match between Natalya and Nakamura. and Finn Balor and Sasha Banks to display what this is going to be. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. It was good. Amazing? No. Was I expecting it to be that? No. So there you go with that. For now, let's go straight into what happened on SmackDown Live here tonight. So, SmackDown Live started off here tonight. We went straight to the United States Championship Tournament. And of course, that started off with the New Day. The New Day, they cut a pre-match promo on Jinder Mahal. It was Xavier Woods versus Jinder Mahal to start off the show tonight. I'm just going to play that pre-match promo, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. So here it is. The New Day cuts a promo on Jinder Mahal.
My opponent despises each and every person sitting in this arena right now. Is that the type of man that you want as your United States champion? I said, is that the type of man you want as your United States champion? So, ladies and gentlemen, all who oppose Jinder Mahal as United States champion say nay. 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 So people of this great planet of Earth, lend me your strength so that tonight I can defeat the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal and become your new WWE United States champion!
So there you go with that. From there they went to the matchup, and that segment was just Xavier Woods and Big E and Kofi Kingston standing in front of a podium acting like if they're going to be elected for the United States Championship. And there was pancakes on that podium. So there you go with that one. So we went to the matchup. Jinder Mahal versus Xavier Woods. This was nothing special. I mean, it was a Jinder Mahal match. The one new thing about this Jinder Mahal match is that Jinder Mahal won clean. He won clean in this matchup, which was actually a refreshing sight because Jinder Mahal seems to never win clean. So at least there was that in this matchup. It was Jinder Mahal getting the beat down the entire time. Xavier Woods made his comeback until he missed that elbow drop, which always looks beautiful. Great elbow drop by Xavier Woods. He missed the elbow drop on Jinder Mahal from the ropes, and that allowed Jinder Mahal to hit Xavier Woods with the super kick, I believe. Follow that up by throwing the guy into the ropes. You remember Enzo's injury back in Payback, I believe, of 2016 when they were facing the Vaudevillains, and he hit the ropes. They were trying to do something like that, and then Jinder Mahal hit the worst finisher in the WWE, the Colossus, to advance to the United States Championship Tournament. So at this point in the show, I'm saying, well, everybody predicted it. Everybody predicted it. It would be Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. How much more predictable could you have been with this tournament than that? Absolutely ridiculous how predictable this tournament was, but it did climax with Jinder Mahal and Bobby Roode. Another thing I was thinking here is, why is WWE not doing the other semifinal match next week and then culminating this at the Royal Rumble? Because what they did was that they said the finals were going to take place next week. Tom Phillips was saying that on commentary. Finals will take place next week. Whatever happened to them taking place at the Royal Rumble? Never explained, of course. Never explained. So there you go with that one. So Jinder Mahal advanced in the tournament here tonight, and by the end of the night, he found himself in the United States Championship match. We will talk about that. But the announcers, they hyped up the 30-man Royal Rumble match. We saw a backstage Twitter video from Baron Corbin talking about how he will win the main event of the Royal Rumble and go to the main event of WrestleMania 34. So there was that, what I was talking about, the backstage segments. talking about the Royal Rumble. That was nice. They spoke about Bill Goldberg going into the Hall of Fame. We covered that on Behind the Mic episode number 52 this past weekend, which all of you should totally go check out. The announcers also plugged the 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and WWE Champion AJ Styles was backstage with Renee Young, and he cut a promo. This was the very small presence AJ had on this show here tonight. And AJ said the match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn isn't fair, but he's not worried because he will get a win over Sami and Kevin Owens, who he's now calling Cammy. I kid you not. This is the type of things that WWE books their wrestlers, because they're not entertainers, they're wrestlers. Anyways, this is the type of things that they script these wrestlers to say. It's absolutely ridiculous. But AJ goes on and says he's gotten to where he's at by overcoming obstacles, and he will do whatever he can to make these yep movement come to an end. AJ says Cammy isn't facing just anyone at the Royal Rumble. They're just stepping into the ring with the WWE Champion. AJ says this isn't the Cammy show. This is SmackDown, the house that AJ Styles built. So there you go with that. Again, I'll say it. I like that AJ Styles had a minimized role on SmackDown Live here tonight, where for the past couple weeks, they've just been the center of attention, the forefront. It's been whatever AJ Styles is doing, or whatever the latest thing is with Sami and Kevin, which AJ Styles has pretty much been intertwined with as of the past couple weeks. And then you got your Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. Just took a step back from that tonight. This was the minimal role that AJ Styles played, and I enjoy that for the time being. Next week, I'm sure it'll be back to normal, but at least we're a little bit more refreshed from it than if we had just gotten another week of the same old shit this week. So, I like it. I do. We go to Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley, and this is the other semifinals match. And who did you suppose won this one? Of course, Bobby Roode. This matchup was really nothing. I don't know if they debuted this theme music for Mojo Rawley this week or the week prior. I'm not sure, but are you kidding me? That's the theme music for Mojo Rawley? That thing, you gotta go search it up on YouTube or something if you haven't heard it. It sounds absolutely terrible. It does not fit his character at all. I just can't see anybody on the WWE roster who a theme song like that would fit, an entrance like that would fit. It looks abysmal. It looks abysmal, and I do not know who concocted that entrance for Mojo Rawley, but there's no way he's going to get over with that. He looks absolutely ridiculous coming out to that. My lord. But Bobby Roode, he caught Mojo Rawley towards the end of this matchup with the big spine buster. He calls for the glorious DDT, and he pinned Mojo Rawley to get his shot at the United States Championship. After the match, Roode celebrates, but the Singh brothers attacked him from behind, and they started beating him down. Jinder Mahal watched from the ramp, and the Singh brothers joined Jinder on the ramp as he said he would put an end to the glorious charade next week and become the new United States Champion. Roode stood up, took the mic, as fans chanted for his name, and Roode said that they don't have to wait until next week. Roode suggested they do the match tonight, and the yes chant broke out through the crowd. Jinder Mahal said no, because they will do it when he decides, and I don't understand why the hell Jinder Mahal would have said no to that, because Bobby Roode was literally beaten down by your henchman. He's weak. He just participated in a matchup. You're more refreshing from your matchup. Why wouldn't you take this opportunity? So I really didn't understand that. That made no sense to me, and I'm sure it made no sense to you. But he said no to this matchup, and standing behind him, it was General Manager Daniel Bryan who came down and announced that the match will take place tonight. Bryan's music hit as a big yes chant broke out. Jinder stares Roode down as Roode talks trash from the ring. So this was originally supposed to happen at the Royal Rumble. Then it was supposed to happen next week for some reason. So it went from happening at the Rumble to next week to tonight. So there you go with that one. WWE for some reason was anxious to get this tournament out of the way, and they did that here tonight. We went to a video package for Randy Orton, then I believe Nakamura. They hyped the Mixed Match Challenge a lot here tonight. And we went to Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus the Riot Squad. What can I say? Who cares is what I can say, bro. Ruby kicked Naomi from the apron while the referee wasn't looking, and Liv took advantage and dropped Naomi for the pin. After the match, the Riot Squad stood tall, and literally nothing was progressed. What was I supposed to see or notice from this matchup? Nothing. Nothing. I am not interested in anything these women are doing. Why not give me a singles matchup? I haven't seen Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. I haven't seen Ruby Riott versus Naomi. Why don't you give me a matchup like that? Why do I need this 6-woman tag who literally nobody gives a crap about? It is ridiculous. Why not demonstrate the every woman for herself aspect of this Royal Rumble? Why not do any of that? It is ridiculous. It really, really is. I have no interest in what any of these women are doing, especially on SmackDown Live. At least, like I said before, last week I believe on my SmackDown Live review, at least Raw has an Asuka. At least Raw has an Alexa Bliss who you look forward to speaking on the microphone or competing in that ring. You should know which ones I'm talking about when I say competing in that ring and speaking on the microphone. So, I mean, at least there's that on Raw, but on SmackDown Live it just seems like the most generic thing ever. Nobody has a dose of personality. All these women are literally the same to me. The only thing that separates some of them from another is that one faction, or like 3 of them are heel and 3 of them are babyface. Besides that, I give 0 you-know-whats about this Women's Royal Rumble. How can I care? It is ridiculous. It really, really is. WWE has done nothing to get me excited for this. And another 6-man tag here tonight certainly did not help the Women's Royal Rumble's case, at least when it comes to the women on SmackDown Live. Joshua Fuentes, who is an absolute robot, by the way, my lord, did she come off as robotic. Holy crap. She was backstage with SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, here tonight, asking about their 2 out of 3 falls match against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin at the Royal Rumble. They took shots at Gable and Benjamin, calling them chumps, and addressing the fact that Chad Gable's playing catch-up to Jason Jordan, who was his former tag team champion on Raw. The Usos go on until Gable and Benjamin attack them from behind and beat them down. Gable and Benjamin taunt the Usos and call them former champions. They leave as referees call for help for the Usos. They get to their feet and aren't happy. So there you go with that one. The announcers plug the Mixed Match Challenge even more. So to come the finals of the United States title tournament, we get an in-depth look on the 2-on-1 handicap match at the Royal Rumble. Back from the break, we get a video package on what led to WWE Champion AJ Styles defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match. We get Shinsuke Nakamura's Twitter video on winning the Royal Rumble, and that takes us into Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal. And what can I say about this matchup? Once again, was a Jinder Mahal matchup. One thing that was different here is that the Singh brothers were banned from ringside, and they did not try to make an appearance after that. It was Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon sitting by the United States title in this matchup, and it was decent. It wasn't anything too amazing as far as United States Championship matchups go, but in the end, I was very surprised by the ending. I really, really was, because at the end of the matchup, it was Bobby Roode who rose up and became United States Champion. I was fully expecting here for there to be some type of twist where it would be like Dolph Ziggler coming back and ending the matchup in DQ and maybe setting up like a triple threat at the Royal Rumble, or the Singh brothers coming in and allowing Jinder Mahal to win the United States Championship, leaving Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon in this chaos and debating over what to do, which leaves you with a cliffhanger going into next week. But nope, none of that. Bobby Roode reversed the Colossus, went straight into a glorious DDT, and it was 1, 2, 3. We went off the air. Bobby Roode holds up the United States Championship, and bada boom, shakalaka, we're set going into next week. Now, what will happen from there? Maybe Bobby Roode will have a United States Championship celebration, and Dolph Ziggler will come back and say, yeah, Bobby, that's my title. Or maybe Dolph Ziggler will even come back with his own United States Championship. And this is an idea, by the way, that I've heard fleshed out by, I believe, the Solid Monster on Solid Monster Sounds Off. Great podcast right there. I was listening to him, and he was talking about doing a ladder matchup with Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, maybe at the Royal Rumble. I'm not even sure. Maybe WrestleMania could be where that takes place. And doing a ladder matchup for the United States Championship, maybe Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels style, and have it be where there's a fake Intercontinental Championship and a real Intercontinental Championship, and they gotta grab both belts or whatever the hell the scenario was right there. So maybe Dolph Ziggler will come back with his own new, refreshed design for the United States Championship, and maybe this is what this whole tournament was all leading to bring in a new United States Championship design, which has been rumored for like a long ass time now. There's been like rumors every once in a while saying the United States Championship is getting a new design. Well, that's never come to be. Maybe that's what this is leading to. Maybe Dolph Ziggler will come back saying, hey, I'm still United States Champion. I never said anything about forfeiting that title. As a matter of fact, here's my United States Championship. And maybe he'll go along with that. Or maybe Jinder Mahal will come out and say, I was cheated of my United States Championship, and somehow vouch to get a match at the Royal Rumble, and Bobby Roode, being a fighting champion, will defend, and he loses it in his first title defense at the Royal Rumble. I know which of those scenarios I would much more likely prefer, but I don't know. Where does WWE go from here? You had your storyline set until the Royal Rumble. The climax of this tournament was supposed to be at the Royal Rumble. It was not. It was not. So now you have to now book yourselves out of this corner that you have positioned yourself in. And I'm sure with WWE going ahead this way, they have a plan. So unless they don't, and they just decide to do some garbage storyline like what I presented to you right there, having Jinder Mahal somehow vouch to get another championship match, and then he wins it over again when you could have just originally stretched this tournament out as it should have been. I don't know. But WWE, hopefully they do something interesting. Hopefully they do something new, something fresh, because something SmackDown Live so deeply needs is for alternative storylines to headline this show. And what I mean by that is that you can't just have Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan and whatever they're doing revolving Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles being the forefront of this show every week. There needs to be a side storyline on SmackDown Live that this week you can maybe push AJ Styles and what he's doing with the WWE Championship to the side a little bit, and you can focus on maybe what's going on with the women. And then the next week, maybe you can focus on what's going on with the tag teams. And then the week after that, maybe you can focus more on what's going on in the United States Championship scenario. They're not doing that. What WWE has is every single week, Sami and in the main event here tonight against Nakamura and Orton, and the WWE Championship scenario is on the line, who's going to become #1 contender, and it's always the same thing. It either has to do with the WWE Championship or it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And as of right now, as of the past 3 weeks, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been in the WWE Championship scenario. So it's been one scenario this entire time. And yeah, you might argue, well, how about Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan? Well, that's intertwined with Kevin and Sami. And on top of that, right now, it's small seeds. I said at the beginning, that feud is just small seeds being planted. That's not a forefront feud, at least not yet. And hopefully, going into WrestleMania, what they have planned is exciting enough that they can put whatever Bobby Roode is doing with his United States Championship as the forefront of SmackDown Live. And Bobby Roode defending the United States Championship against the Gobbledygooper is your main event and can be your main event for SmackDown Live. Where Charlotte and what she's doing with her Women's Championship can headline SmackDown Live, because right now all I see is 6-woman tag in the women's division. The tag team division will have the Bludgeon Brothers squashing some random tag team, and Mojo Rawley will go against Zack Ryder this week as your mid-card program. Like, what type of booking is that? How am I supposed to get excited for what we're seeing on SmackDown Live? I can't. And that is my little rant right there about WWE needing to set up multiple feuds that have layers in them and that can headline SmackDown Live on any given week, because it just can't be one scenario in the forefront each and every single week, because it tends to get repetitive. It tends to get boring, and that's something that you want to stray away from, and that's a ground SmackDown Live has been in for the past couple weeks. I feel like they put this United States Championship scenario in the forefront this week, and they rushed to climax this and finish this United States Championship tournament this week because they realized, shit, SmackDown Live is boring right now, and it's because we've been putting the same crap in their faces each and every single week. Let's try to change that a little bit. And I give them credit for that, but again, it just goes to show, and it exposes the fact that WWE really doesn't have many feuds on SmackDown Live that can carry the show for 1 week, and that is really ridiculous, and they got to start working on that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, those are my thoughts on your SmackDown Live review. Bobby Roode is the new United States Champion. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it, but I'm always looking towards the future. I'm thinking, what are they going to do with this? Bobby Roode wins his first United States Championship, or his first title in the WWE main roster, and I am certainly glad about that. The glorious one is United States Champion, and hopefully his United States title reign will be exactly that. But for now, that's all I can say, because that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure to go check out all the other content, Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, pay-per-view reviews, all that good stuff right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, behind the mic each and every single week. Make sure to go check it out. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to comment. Do all that good stuff, because for now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.